Hello, my country people them. Hello, my country people them. Welcome to this live broadcast today, when on Wednesday, the 13th of November 2019. As I join you and share my country people them. So, welcome everyone. I am going to speak in both Pidgin English and, of course, English in this live broadcast today because I expect we will have some international guests watching this live show today, either as I speak or later on after the live broadcast is over. So, my country people then, today I bring you some of the consequences for sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon. We have a particular case study today that we're going to discuss, and I will be explaining a few things for you, the audience, to understand what I mean about consequences for sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon. But why do I say that? It is because so many people who call themselves Ambazonians, who have devastated the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon, they have always felt invincible. They have always felt that their actions have no consequences. They have always felt that because they live in the diaspora, that because they live in the United States or in England, in Norway, in Germany, in South Africa, Nigeria, they've always felt that they can do whatever they want to do to incite terrorism and violence in Cameroon and to cause the death of thousands of people, and nothing would happen to them. So today is just an example of some of the consequences that can befall you if you sponsor terrorism in Cameroon. So this is one other way of deterring people. It's a deterrent. Absolutely, it's a deterrent that would deter people who were even thinking, if you have just the notion that you can sponsor terrorism in Cameroon and get away with it, you are wrong. And we will prove you wrong, because we will come after you, those of us, the victims, who have suffered from your Ambazonian madness. We will make sure there are consequences on you for sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon. So my country people then, before I go too far, I want to play to you the Kumkum anthem, because I am the king of all the blacklegs, His Royal Highness, the Kumkumasa. Wanna listen?
Hail, hail, hail the Kumkumasa, we the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Kumkumasa, Kumkumasa, you shall free our country from terror, and your blessing shall be like the stars above. The Most High God shall be your guide.
Thank you, my country people then. And now, for the Cameroon National Anthem. Thank you so much. So to anyone who is watching from the United States or any other part of the world, Cameroon is one of the most beautiful countries on the planet. It is situated in West Central Africa. There are about 25 million inhabitants in that country, and it has a very rich history and the past of colonialism that stems from decades, and I mean centuries ago, where the British and the French both had territories in Africa, and part of the region, the two of the 10 regions in Cameroon, the northwest and the southwest regions, were former trust territories that were controlled by the British, and the other part of Cameroon were under the French. So in 1961, the Anglophone part of Cameroon gained independence by joining La République du Cameroun to become the United Republic of Cameroon. Over the centuries, I mean the decades, the constitution was changed and the country became the United Republic of Cameroon and then the Republic of Cameroon. Right, that is the brief history. But what is happening now in Cameroon is a situation where we have youth that are radicalized, manipulated, brainwashed, and fed false information to take up arms and destroy their own communities. Some of the atrocities of the armed militias that are called Amber Boys involve beheadings, kidnapping for ransom, mutilations, and all sorts of atrocities against their own people. These Amber Boys, as they are known, have gone to the length of burning down hospitals with patients in them, burnt them alive, like the one in Kumba and other ones. They dig up roads, and I will show you more exhibits in a second. But why am I saying this? Is to lay a ground foundation for anyone watching to understand what I'm talking about. So when I say that these people called Amazonians are terrorists, I have evidence to back it up. So why are we here today? Because this morning, today, the 13th of November, 2019, I received a phone call from a gentleman who resides in America, in the United States of America. I am going to play the phone conversation that I had with him, and it would be best for you to listen and then make up your own mind, but then I will give my commentary and my own opinions at the end of this phone conversation between myself and wanna listen. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello. You called me 3 times.
Yes, hi. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, my name is Festus and I'm calling you from the US.
Hello, Festus.
Yes. Okay, yes. I am a professor at the university. I'm dean at Troy University, Dean of Arts and Sciences. I have seen my name published on your website that I am a scammer with my picture on it. My name and my picture on it.
Can you send me the link?
I don't need to send you the link. And I'm telling you this. This was brought to my attention by my boss today, that my name is, you're brandishing my name on Facebook, I mean on a website, and calling me a scammer. I give you 12 hours to pull down my name, or I will file a lawsuit in the UK. I studied in the UK, I studied in London. I'll file a lawsuit against you. I'm a British citizen.
Okay.
You can't do that to people. How can you just go around, go on LinkedIn and you crop down a picture and you're using it for your selfish ends? Why are you doing that?
I don't know who you are.
You don't know who I am? How do you have my picture on your page? How do you have you take my picture and you attach it to a scam, and you call it a scam that is interim government what scam? Do you know what you're talking about? 24 hours.
What is your surname?
To sort this thing out.
What is your surname, if you don't mind me asking?
My name is Ndeh, Festus Ndeh.
Okay. So are you telling me you have nothing to do with Ambazonian?
I'm telling you, I give you 24 hours.
Are you telling me you have nothing? Are you telling me you have nothing to do with Ambazonia?
Are you listening to me?
Are you listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Right. Are you telling me you have nothing to do with Ambazonia?
What do I have to do with Ambazonia?
That is the question I'm asking you. Do you have nothing to do with Ambazonia?
You think there is one person who has that name Festus there? Because scammer, you put my name online and call me a scammer.
Do you have nothing? Do you have nothing to do with Ambazonia?
I have nothing to do with Ambazonia, and I give you 24 hours. 24 hours to bring down that picture.
Okay.
I don't want to see my name and picture attached to anything that has to do with scamming.
Okay.
I give you 24 hours.
And you have nothing to do with
Gentlemen,
the
I have
end.
nothing to argue with you.
I am not arguing. I am not arguing with you. You are the one who is. You are the one who is animated, and probably you have a reason to be animated.
Because you are attaching me to my picture is attached to scam.
Okay.
My job is at risk.
Okay.
My job is at risk.
Okay, but then.
My name to my picture to scam.
Understood. But now I have to. If you are threatening me, okay.
I'm threatening you, and I have the full right to threaten you.
Okay.
And I give you 24 hours, gentlemen. 24 hours. If I don't have my picture down, wait and see what I'll do to you.
Okay, thank you for the threats. He's hung up. Now he called me. Today is Wednesday, the 13th of November. The time now is 06:55 in the morning, and he was calling me from a number that is +1 334 245 6960. Okay, my country people then. So that was how I started my morning today, Wednesday, the 13th of November, 2019. Professor Festus Ndeh called me, and you've just listened to the conversation for yourself, so there's not much I can say about that. But the interesting thing I want for you to take from that is the fact that he threatened me. He threatened a lawsuit, and he said that his attention was brought to him by his boss. His attention to the article that I posted on countrypeople.com was brought to him by his boss today or yesterday or whenever. He also said that his job is at risk. That is the key thing. His job is at risk. And then he goes on to say, do you think that there is more than one person, or there is only one person called Festus Ndeh? Yes, sir, I do. I do think there is only one person called Festus Ndeh who originates from Cameroon and migrated to the United States of America and lives there and is of the Anglophone extraction. There is only one such person. And I definitely got the right person. That is what I think. Okay, so why was he so animated? Professor Festus Ndeh. Right. Why was he animated, my country people them? I will show you what he is talking about. On your screen right now, you can see Troy University. That is the university that he works at. He teaches at the university. And if you go to countrypeople.com, this is an article that I published on this website on the 7th of March, 2019. It's been since then, since you had April, May, June, July, August, November. It's been over 6 months, 6 months since this article was posted on countrypeople.com. And the same article was spread all over Facebook. His picture and other write-ups linking him to Ambazonia were posted a long time ago, since 6 months ago. But Mr. Festus Ndeh wants you to believe that the first time he only heard that his name was brandished everywhere, linking him to the Ambazonia interim government and the scammers, he wants you and I to believe that the first time he heard of it was when his boss told him about it. How did his boss know that he himself doesn't know? All his friends don't know. Every single person that is on Facebook, Ambazonia, everywhere is on Facebook, and he did not know that his name was linked to the Ambazonia interim government, the NGO scam. How can we believe that? My country people then. So this article, like I said, 6 months ago, I wrote and I said, 8 Amber terrorist sponsors that must be identified and rewarded for sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon. I said, my country people then, there are 8 names behind the Ambazonia NGO scam that we still know little about, and we must expose and get them reward for sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon. I think the chickens have come home to roost. So I went on to say that if Eric Tato wants to bring Gary to my family members, I put my family members in capitals for a reason, because Eric Tato made public statements saying that he will bring Gary to my family members. He threatened my life and my family life and my families, and said, and I went on to say that if these terrorists keep quiet about it, how would they feel if their own family relatives start receiving free kumkum too? I said, let the dirty games continue. Ambazonia started it, but my country people them will finish it. Nonsense. Yes, I wrote that. And I posted the picture of Irene Gua, who works for United Airlines. She is a massive sponsor of Ambazonia terrorism in Cameroon, 100%. And next to her picture is that of Professor Festus Ndeh. And I wrote there saying that Festus Ndeh, his name appears in the NGO scam by the Ambazonia IG. That is a fact. That is not fiction. It is a scientific fact, and I will go on to prove it to you. I give you evidence, fellow country people, them gentlemen, and all Mr. Festus's boss at Troy University. I hope you're watching and listening. Pay attention, because I come with receipts. So here I continue, and I said, these names are on the documentary evidence below. Who are they? We want photos and all information about them and their family members and properties in Cameroon. If our properties and family members are targets, they too must know that we can and will target their family members too. Abso-freaking-lutely. If you target me and my family members, be prepared for when the shoe is on the other foot. So I went on to say that they declared war on us, and that is a fact. And then started playing dirty tricks, sending their Gary master, who is Eric Tato, to come and level threats, incite violence, and burn down hospitals, beheadings, and all the rest. Enough is enough. Absolutely enough is enough. And I gave you Exhibit 1. This document you see on your screen is the memo approving the resolution to welcome new foundation officers to Ambazonia Foundation. Yes, Ambazonia Foundation. This is an NGO, a 501c company. I'm sure you, as the boss to Mr. Festus Ndeh, you are obviously well learned. You understand what I'm talking about when I say 501c company. Yes. So you can go through the document for yourself. I did not fabricate this document in my kitchen. It comes from the state of Maryland offices. You can go there and verify this document for yourself. So here it says that we hereby resolve unanimously that Mr. Richard Tangu will replace Mr. Festus Ndeh as foundation director. Festus Ndeh was the foundation director of Ambazonia Foundation. Festus Ndeh, Ambazonia Foundation. Ambazonia Foundation 501c company, which is an NGO, a non-government organization or non-governmental organization, right? So you have other names, but if you scroll down, so apparently they sat on the 14th of October 2018 as managers of Ambazonia Foundation Inc. and came up with this resolution, which is signed here, as you can see. It is signed here by Festus Ndeh, the former president. And then you have Richard Tangu, Blaise Chair, the assistant treasurer and acting secretary or whatever. So now, this is dated the 1st of March or the 3rd of January, because the arrangements of the month and the day in America, they're weird over there. It's different from us over here in the UK. So it's the 3rd of January 2019 in the state of Maryland. It is this year in January 2019 that this document was stamped and dated in the state of Maryland. Okay, so now the next page on that same document, Ambazonia Foundation Inc., goes on to list these other names: Blaise Chair, Victorine Yangni, Irene Gua, Eyembe Elango, Willie Acho, Richard Tangu, Helen Akonji. These are the 7 names plus Festus Ndeh. Those are the 8 names that I was talking about in the headline. The 8 Amber terrorist sponsors. They sponsor Ambazonia terrorism in Cameroon. And there is absolutely no doubt that Ambazonia is a terrorist organization. Right. So now, this document, this particular one was stamped on December 26, 2018 on Boxing Day. And you can see Richard Tangu, and the address is right there. These are authentic documents. You can go and cross-check them for yourself at any time with the Maryland state authorities. Right. So Ambazonia Foundation Inc., that is the company we are talking about. Richard Tangu took over from Festus Ndeh at the latter stages of 2018. This is probably when Mr. Festus Ndeh realized that he was duped, he was scammed, and he was involved in a shady business, and then he tried to remove himself out of Ambazonia. I am guessing, that is just an educated guess. That is not based on any facts. But then he Richard Tangu replaced him at the head of this Ambazonia Foundation Inc., which is obviously a scam. And if you do not believe me that is a scam, bring out the documents from the Ambazonia Foundation Inc. Let us cross-check them, see if they pay their taxes, who contributes into them, how do they make their money, do they use the money for the purposes for which they were solicited? Do they use the money in Ambazonia Foundation Inc. for that specific purpose when they requested for the money for donations? Do they declare taxes? Because Ambazonia is a Facebook cyber republic with a so-called president, and they are trying to affect a political change in a foreign country. Is that what 501c companies in America are designed to do? To affect political change and regime change in foreign countries? If that is so, And then Ambazonia Foundation Inc. is not a scam. But for as long as Ambazonia Foundation Inc. was used to solicit funds and use those funds to buy guns to kill people in Cameroon, then it is a terrorist organization. It is a scam. It is criminal. And anyone linked to it should be investigated, especially Festus Ndeh. That's where we start. His job is at risk. And that is why he picked up his phone. He called me 3 times in under 2 minutes. When I realized that someone was desperately trying to get my attention, that is when I started recording. And then I called him back. Yes. So now moving on. In the same article, I explained the IG scam. This is 6 months ago. And I explained this is the house that belonged to Helen Akonji. And this same house in 9407 Myrtle Avenue in Bowie, 20720, was under pre-foreclosure. So in the United States, when you fail to pay your mortgage, and even in the UK, if you fail 3 consecutive mortgage payments, the bank starts pre-foreclosure process to repossess the house. So that is what was happening. Helen Akonji is one of the names on that Ambazonia Foundation scam. And then I went on to say, who are these people? Let us find out. Let us expose them, because we have to. That is the only way. Operation Sunshine is the sanitizer. Most of these people donate this money to sponsor terrorism in Cameroon because they believe that they are invincible. They believe that the Cameroon government has no way of holding them accountable, that no one will ever hold them accountable for their terrorism until I came around. I am a victim of their madness, of Ambazonia madness. They tried to kill me. I survived. So I am on my second life right now. So there is nothing you can do to me. You can sue me for all I care. I died the day your Ambazonia thugs came to my house with a gun to kill me. So there it is. I went on to also post about, so here it is. And I said, below are documents for you to download and analyze, especially the lawyers. You need to look at these documents and start legal proceedings. Let's drag all these people to court now. Today, there must be consequences for inciting terrorism. If the Cameroon government won't hold these people accountable, then we, ordinary people, must wear our superhero capes and get busy. That is what I posted. If the Cameroon government is not going to hold the Eritatos, the Tapang Ivos, the Festus and the Helen Akonjis, Sako Ikome, Capo Daniels, if the Cameroon government is not going to hold them accountable, then we, ordinary people, have to wear our superhero capes and get busy. We have to do something. We have to stop the madness. We have to stop the beheadings, the mutilations, the rapes, the burning down of hospitals, digging up roads, the manipulation, the fake news, the propaganda, the destruction of Cameroon. We have to save the country ourselves. And that is how I came into activism, to save a country. And by holding these people accountable, by making sure that there are consequences for what they do, for their own actions, we are able to make sure that anyone that sponsors terrorism in Cameroon faces the consequences. And as a result of that, many people have withdrawn from Ambazonia, withdrawn their contributions. Many people have stopped contributing, stopped attending their fundraisers, stopped attending their meetings, stopped commenting on Facebook, stopped supporting them, stopped going public and talking about Ambazonia, because they finally realized that there are consequences for sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon. So my country people then, going back to that article, I wrote, I said, we are the heroes we've been waiting for. Let us not sit there and think that there is some Jesus Christ or some savior that is coming to save us from these Amber terrorists. It wasn't God that gave the guns to the Amber boys and pushed them into the forest. It was human beings like Eric Tato, Mark Barretta, Tapang Ivo. It was our cousins. It was people like Helen Akonji, Sako Ekome, and all these people, Yangni and Irene Gua, Festus Ndeh, and a lot of them who sponsored them, gave them the money to do propaganda, misinformation, and to give them the money to buy then guns and then go into the forest and they're kidnapping our people for ransom, terrorizing communities in the Anglophone part of Cameroon. These people are responsible. And they have to face the consequences of their madness. They have to be held responsible for what they have caused, the destruction that they have caused in Cameroon. They have to be held responsible. So here are the documents. You are encouraged to go to countrypeople.com and search IG Scammer or search Festus Ndeh or search Irene Gua, search Ambazonia Relief Fund, search Ambazonia Inc., search, just click on search. If you come, you see the menu item there, click it, you type the word there, and you press enter on your keypad. It will search the whole website and bring you any web page. It will bring you this web page for a starter. And all these documents are readily available for you. They were downloaded. I downloaded them from the right state authority websites in the United States, especially Maryland, where all of these, most of these, Ambazonia Foundation certificate, Ambazonia Spirit and Relief, or whatever. Pardon the one or two spelling mistakes in the titles. Just download the documents, examine them for yourselves. I come with evidence. The names, the dates, the addresses, they are on these documents. So when I say Festus Ndeh's name appears on the incorporating document or the documents for Ambazonia Foundation Inc. scam, it is a fact. I did not dream it up. I did not make it up. So I go on to give you more evidence of some of the people that sponsor this madness. And then below, there are evidence of some of their atrocities. If I keep scrolling down, you will see some of their atrocities, and I put it on that webpage. And these are the mild ones. I am yet to show you some of the serious atrocities, especially anyone watching from Troy University. I encourage you to click on this link where it says Ma Florence Ayafo, the latest Ambazonia terrorist beheading. If you want to see a beheading that is worse than anything ISIS has ever done, if you want to see a beheading that is worse, an atrocity that is worse than anything that Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, ISIS, and all the other terrorist organizations in the world have ever done, the worst terrorist atrocity that has ever happened on the surface of this earth, this is it right here. Madame Ayafo Florence. Click on that link and you will see it for yourself. This is what people sit in America in the comforts in America, professors, doctors, lawyers, engineers, and responsible people, and they contribute their money to sponsor this kind of terrorism. But many of them hide in the shadows. They do not want their faces, they do not want their names to be associated with the terrorism that they finance. Until your boss calls you in and shows you the website that Country People built with the evidence on the website. And then you call me and you say to me, my job is at risk. What about my life? What about Madame Ayafo Florence, who was beheaded? What about her job? What about, I'm talking about life here, not even jobs. You sit in America, you're fat, you are happy, comfortable. You don't care about the people that your Amber boys are terrorizing on the ground in Cameroon. You do not care. And you sit there and you think your job is more important than my life that the Amber boys almost took, than Madame Ayafo's life. She was raped, tortured, mutilated, and beheaded on video. I have the evidence. Click right here. You will see the evidence. Click right there. That one there, Sapan Noir, was also beheaded. Click right there and you will see the evidence of the beheading. Right there, you will see him decapitated. That is what people said in America. Some of them, lawyers, professors, and whatnot, but they don't want their names to be attached to the beheadings, but they are the ones sponsoring it. They finance it. Whether willingly or unwillingly, you finance it. And there must be consequences for sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon. There must be, and there will be. Some are contributing. Let me show you one more thing. This post you see on your screen was posted on the 31st of August this year, 2019. Since then, we've had the whole of September gone by, the whole of October gone by, and now we are in the middle of November. So 2.5 months since Mike Bralter posted this post on We Love You Cameroon. Yes, that is We Love You Cameroon. Since Mike Bralter posted that post on that page, are you telling me in 2.5 months ago and all the other posts that are around on Facebook everywhere, and Festus Ndeh is on Facebook, are you telling me that he did not see this post? All these names, Mike Bralter says that this is a breaking scandalous news, that this is a list of doctors, lawyers, professors. They contribute money to ensure our schools remain closed in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon, while they send their own children to schools abroad. The saddest thing is that Professor Festus Ndeh is a professor at Troy University. Let me show you Troy University again so that you understand. And if you work for Troy University, you should call Mr. Festus Ndeh in your office and ask him these questions. Did you or did you not take part in registering that NGO called Ambazonia Foundation Inc. or Ambazonia, anything to do with Ambazonia? Have you or have you never donated money, financially supported the Ambazonia terrorist organization that beheads people in Cameroon? These are simple questions that he has to answer. Two Festus Ndeh that originate from Cameroon and migrated to the United States. There are two with the same names. Oh, by the way, the Festus that I'm talking about lives on Lee Street, Montgomery, Alabama. His address has the digits 7 and 1 in it, and 36104. And he was born on the 13th of October, 1972. Yes, Kumkum, Bureau of Investigation, has been doing its homework. Yes, I can tell you when he received a speeding ticket in 2009. And I can also tell you one other thing. He threatens that he is going to sue me. I can also tell you that in 2016, Mr. Festus Ndeh filed Chapter 13 bankruptcy on the 6th of June, 2016, just about when Ambazonia was about to, when the real, the Anglophone crisis was about to ignite. He was filing for bankruptcy. Yes. Oh, another question to the dean at Troy University. I don't know if someone who is a dean or works at your university, can you please cross-check your terms and conditions, your references? Did he declare to you that he filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy in June 2016? Did he declare that? Is he supposed to declare that? Is it in his contract to declare that he he was filing for Chapter 13 bankruptcy? I don't know, because he may be responsible for other people. And if you file for bankruptcy, then you are susceptible to blackmail. So that could be something that he has to report. So, like I said, Kumkum Bureau of Investigation has been doing its job since this morning when he called me threatening legal action against me for posting what is actually 100% truth. Because when I say that, his name appears in the NGO scam by Ambazonia interim government. That is a fact. His name does appear in these documents. There is. It says Mr. Festus Ndeh. There, Festus Ndeh. It appears twice with a signature. Unless he is right and says that there are actually two Festus there. Either way, then the only thing that may be wrong is that I got the wrong picture. But the fact remains that his name appears in these documents. That is a fact. Take me to court. That is a fact, and I can prove it because I have the documents. Your name appears in the documents. It's your name, isn't it? Another thing I want you people to understand as well is that this gentleman says that I have nothing to do with Ambazonia. Suddenly, everyone that has ever had anything to do with Ambazonia, when the consequences come knocking, they deny Ambazonia. But of course, what did you expect? I asked him 5 separate times to confirm whether he is involved in Ambazonia or not. 5 separate times. In fact, I'm going to play the audio again just for your benefit so that you can listen. My contributor, listen. With Ambazonia.
What do I have to do with Ambazonia?
That is the
only the scam that is, you're using it for your selfish ends. Why are you doing that?
I don't know who you are.
You don't know who I am? How do you have my picture on your page? How do you have you take my picture and you attach it to a scam, and you call it a scam that is interim government what scam? Do you know what you're talking about? My friend, I give you 24 hours.
What is your surname?
To sort this thing out.
What is your surname, if you don't mind me asking?
My name is Festus Ndeh.
Okay. So are you telling me you have nothing to do with Ambazonia? One.
I'm telling you, I give you 24 hours.
Are you telling me? So you see, I asked him, are you telling me you have nothing to do with Ambazonia? He did not answer the question. And then listen, I'm going to ask him the same question again. You have nothing. Are you telling me you have nothing to do with Ambazonia? 2.
Are you listening to me?
Are you listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Right. Are you telling me you have nothing to do with Ambazonia?
What do I have to do with Ambazonia?
That is the answer of an artful dodger. That is someone who has a clear question in front of them. You ask him, are you telling me that you have nothing to do with Ambazonia? That was the 3rd time that I asked him, and he is dodging the question, refusing to even call the name Ambazonia. I asked him, is the 3rd time, are you telling me you have nothing to do with Ambazonia? And then he asked, he did not answer the question. That is what you call an artful dodger. When I listen again. Right. Are you telling me you have nothing to do with Ambazonia?
What do I have to do with Ambazonia?
See, that is the question I'm asking you. Do you have nothing to do with Ambazonia? 4th time I asked.
I think there's one person who has that name first.
You see, that was the 4th time that I asked him, are you telling me you have nothing to do with Ambazonia? And then he goes on to dodge the question again and tries to bamboozle me by saying that you think there is only one person with the name Festus there. Absolutely, I do. But then again, listen, it's the 5th time that because I kept asking exactly the same question. That is how you nail a liar. That's how you nail someone. You ask the same question until they answer it. Listen to this again.
You call me a scammer? You put my name online and call me a scammer?
I never called him a scammer. I said his name appears in the NGO scam. That is what I said. I didn't say he was the scammer. He could have been a victim of the scam, but his name appeared in the NGO scam, the Ambazonia IG scam. So when I listen again,
do you have nothing to do with Ambazonia?
5.
I have nothing to do with Ambazonia, and I give it.
You hear? That was the 5th time that I asked him, do you have nothing to do with Ambazonia? That is when Festus there made the confession. I have nothing to do with Ambazonia. So you see these people, when you grab them by the canals, they go start cry like swine. When you grab an Ambazonian by the canals, it could deny Ambazonia go pass. If Ambazonia is being a legitimate, honorable cause, where you feel like how people they will fight for freedom for South Africa, even South Sudan. When I never hear some person go out there, go talk to this, so are you and they contribute money for sponsor them, and then when they ask you, are you South African or do you support Nelson Mandela? He say, I don't know nothing about Nelson Mandela. When I don't ever hear that one, and if they are abroad, it decline a job, it decline a life. Nobody says some person will kill you, not just your job. It decline past me where Amber Boy they put gun for my head. It decline past the Madame Flo Ayafo, where Amber Boy they cut her head. It cries out because he say my job is at risk. When I listen,
24 hours to bring down that picture.
Okay.
I don't want to see my name and picture attached to anything that has to do with scamming.
Okay.
I did it 24 hours.
And you have nothing to do with
Gentlemen,
the
I have
end.
nothing to argue with you.
I am not arguing with you. You are the one who is animated, and probably you have a reason to be animated.
Because you're attaching me to my picture is attached to scam.
Okay.
My job is at risk.
Okay.
My job is at risk.
Okay, but then
attaching my name to my picture to scam.
Understood. But now I have to. If you are threatening me, okay.
I'm threatening you, and I have the full right to threaten you.
Okay.
And I give you 24 hours, gentlemen. 24 hours. If I don't have my picture down, wait and see what I'll do to you.
Okay, thank you for the threats.
Okay, my contributor, I hope that was abundantly clear to everyone. So going back, before I forget, going back to that, the reason why I brought that up was because at the top of the list, you have the so-called native Dr. Sako Ekome and a bunch of all these people. But if you, and then you see the Richard Tangu there, yes, Richard Tangu. And mind you, I am not Mike Browder. I am not Mike Browder. I promise you that. I am not Mike Browder who posted this list out there. Even I did not have this list. I did not post this. And if you scroll down on this list, you will see the exact same names that were in that, like I've already shown you Richard Tangu. And number 60 on that list, it says Professor Ndeh Festus. That is the list that someone did their research. Professor Ndeh Festus. They didn't say that ordinary Ndeh Festus. How many people of Cameroon extraction, Anglophone Cameroon extraction, are in the United States that are a professor whose names just happen to be Festus Ndeh? It is not a coincidence that your name keeps coming up, sir, and it keeps coming up in official documents that were filed at the state of Maryland, registering the Ambazonia interim government as an NGO, a scam. It is not a coincidence. It's because your hands are dirty, sir. They are red with blood of the innocent people that the Amber Boys have killed. So, my country people then, going back to our presentation, I hope you also know that you can always visit www.countrypeople.com for latest news and to find out what's happening in the world of Ambazonia terrorism in Cameroon. And obviously, we have a YouTube channel as well. I haven't loaded that up. And obviously, we have a presence on Twitter as well, Amber_LRC. That is where you find us on Twitter. Now, moving on, I want to play an audio for you to listen. And